Hey, welcome back to SourceFed. My name is Elliot Morgan.
We look familiar.
Yeah.
You again!
Actor Brad Pitt is executive producing a documentary that calls for an end to the 40-year-old war on drugs. The documentary, which Brad Pitt is in full support of, is called The House I Live In and won the Grand Jury Prize at the Sundance Film Festival and opened this past weekend in the States.
According to the documentary, the war on drugs has cost over $1 trillion and 45 million arrests since 1971, which is a lot. Those arrests are also typically aimed towards poor or minority communities. Brad Pitt stated, "I know people are suffering because of it. I know I've lived a very privileged life in comparison and I can't stand for it. It's such a bad strategy. It makes no sense. It perpetuates itself. You make a bust, you drive up profit, which makes more people want to get into it. To me, there's no question. We have to rethink this policy and we have to rethink it now."
The documentary also goes into the prison system. According to them, the US makes up 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the prison population. Pitt is also of the belief that the war on drugs might not solely be about drugs. Given his humanitarian work with victims of Hurricane Katrina, there seems to be underlying factors through all of this, such as race and class. Pitt stated, "It's a never-ending cycle, but when you look at it after what we experienced with Katrina, it is actually being used to cap a portion of our society and holding them back, shackling them."
The filmmaker behind the documentary stated, "A kid right now a block from here is going to have a cop find an ounce of something on this person and he's going to spend 10 years in jail. These are all indicators of a society that has lost its way, and it has lost its way in the direction of injustice and unfairness."
He went on to say, "Look at alcohol. After Prohibition, we regrouped and said it was a bad idea what we're doing. Now we have a system where alcohol is illegal for children. The government profits off of it. Grown-ups can use it responsibly, which means if I go out in my car and kill someone, it's manslaughter. But if I've been drinking, it's an aggravated prosecutorial factor. So why is it the drugs, which are less damaging to the public than alcohol, why is it we treat them more severely?" Ooh, man, that is a deep question.
That is a real deep question.
Whew, man.
Drugs are everywhere. Even when they're not drugs. They're drugs.
Your money is covered in cocaine.
And poop.
And cocaine.
Kapoop. So on one hand you have drugs, and on the other hand you have the war on drugs. On the flip side, the war on drugs is said to increase awareness that drugs are bad and drive up the cost of drugs.
And in response to that whole just look at alcohol argument, those in favor of the war on drugs are typically anti-alcohol and anti-tobacco as well. They cite the death due to drunk driving or the risk of death smokers face as an indication that in a perfect world, drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes would all be illegal. In other words, if it could hurt you, you're not allowed to have it. Next on the agenda is sporks. Look, bottom line from my angle, I don't know where I stand. A part of me believes that we should legalize everything and tax and regulate everything. The idea that a grown adult can't make their own decisions seems kind of crazy, but then that part of me ignores the other part of me, which knows that people are awful and they do awful things all the awful time.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys think about the war on drugs. Should drugs be legalized? Let us know in the comment section down below.
And while you're down there, like, subscribe, click this annotation for our 5 daily stories, or you can go to SourceFed.com to see bloggy type news. I'm Elliot Morgan.
I'm Lee Newton. This is my Brad Pitt. I'm Brad Pitt.
That was good.
I know.
Do it again.
I'm Brad Pitt. The first one was better.